Hey everybody, it's Christi Gessler, the dependent agent. Thank you so much for joining this episode today. It's been a little bit of a disjointed schedule for me, just like for everybody else in this quarantine COVID world. I feel like routines are just kind of subject to interpretation right now, and I'm struggling to always keep mine or get a new routine or figure out some way to try to uh, have there be a little sense of normalcy around right now. Been doing a lot of great travel for one. That's very awesome. For those of you that follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you will see that I was just in the great state of Pennsylvania, having an amazing time, traveling around the area, taking in the sights, and being safe, of course, along the way. But I think that today's conversation I'd like to have with you is kind of focused on mindset and getting your head right. And I was just on a webinar with the great Connie Podesta. If y'all have not had the privilege or treat of seeing Connie Podesta, I highly recommend her. She is a therapist turned leadership coach and life coach and a comedian. And that's my favorite part is her humor. But we were on a webinar today for Texas Realtors, and it was really focused on, your mindset and how you're selling to people and who you are and how you're interacting with people. How much grace are you offering others right now? How much grace are you offering yourself right now? I know, y'all, that is one of my chief struggles. And when I was replacing a lot of that with alcohol, I was very much looking for a place to um, hide out a little bit. I talked to you about that. The quarantine was really scary for me from that perspective. And I'm not going to lie, it's scary again. The more times that I feel like we are, quote, forced to go underground, is how I would look at it, is daunting and is scary. Now, and you've heard this through the podcast, I have a new view. Y'all remember that windshield is a lot larger than that rear view mirror. And that's cool. And that's there for a reason. That's by design. And I love it. Here are some observations I think about the quarantine. And as a realtor, how I feel like we should start to address some of the mental stress of the quarantine. We have our clients that are stressed out beyond measure. And we have ourselves and our fellow agents that are stressed out beyond measure. We have a few brokers that are stressed out beyond measure as well. Just throw that in there. But what's happening right now is that there is a finally, in my opinion, a sense of permanency is starting to set in with the COVID-19 restrictions, wearing of masks, distancing, um, all sorts of food safety rules, all sorts of access rules, only 5 or 10 people in a certain place at a certain time. And we're having to now, I feel like, settle in with some of this. So people are still in that mindset of the home has to change, the space has to change. We've been able to sit back for the last 3 months and look at the four walls that are enclosing us. And we've made a lot of decisions about the four walls. How do you feel right now about your four walls? Now I'm talking about the physical walls, the walls that you see out there about, and the ones that are actually, physically there. These are the walls I can touch. How do you feel about those walls? That's where most people still are right now. They are still in the mindset of, I don't like that bedroom. I definitely need one more bathroom. For the love of God, I need another bathroom. Number one, you bought all that toilet paper. I guess you got to have a place to put it. But we've had a lot of people at home. We need another bathroom. Maybe I need to remodel my kitchen. Maybe I'm going to spend some money on my current property and I'm going to improve it. All right. That's one change. The other change is flat out moving. Not only do I not like my house, I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see these four walls anymore. A follow on to that is I may not be excited about the people that are within the walls as well. Not going to get too much into that, but you all know what I'm driving at. We're driving to people are maybe not so sure who they were quarantining with. And what Connie talked about today, and I agree with her, is quarantine brings out the best and the worst in everybody, doesn't it? And the stress of racial tension and an election and Saharan dust and you name it, murder hornets. We have a lot of things to be stressful about, stressed over. And it's hard. And those people, one of my favorite sayings in real estate, and I have said this for years, and if I have been your broker, you have heard this phrase come out of my mouth probably more times than you can count. And it is, this job would be so much easier if it weren't for the people in it. Right there. That's it. There's my tagline. This job would be so much easier if it just weren't for the people in it. So yes, we've got people within the four walls that are causing issues. Okay, good and bad. But the four walls. All right. Now, we can very easily deal with a new set of physical walls, and we can move them, and we can move you and put you in a new space. The walls we can't move are the ones that are inside your own head. And those are the walls that I think, and Connie talked about, that's our second wave. So we have this first wave in a pandemic, the first wave of the virus. It's running through communities. It's scary AF. We cannot even begin to get our head wrapped around how deadly it is, how easily can you get it, what happens if you get it, do you recover, what happens when you recover. Nobody knew. And because the medical community didn't know right away, it fueled a lot more anxiety. They were not able to comfort us because you knew they didn't know. All right. Well, so now we are in that phase still with our homes. People are still looking at their homes and going, you know what? I need a different physical space. And that's okay. That works out okay. Now, I think the second wave of a pandemic is, yes, the next wave of stressors and challenges and unique reasons why we're going to have to end up in a quarantine setting for much longer, or maybe a quarantine setting semi-permanently. That phase of a pandemic is going to, I hope, inspire the second phase of growth and change, and that is of yourself. You can change your physical walls around you. Getting in there to change the walls in your head, number one, is a lot scarier place, but number two is a lot more rewarding when it's done. I have spent the last 2 years coming out of a fog of alcohol that clouded everything I could possibly think. I didn't know it. I didn't know how cloudy it was until today. Because what I tried to do is not only work on my walls on the outside, and I bought my ranch in Liberty Hill, Texas. And if those of you see me on Facebook, y'all know how much my partner Brian and I love those sunrises and those sunsets. I cannot tell you there is literally nothing in my view, in my windshield, than those sunrises and sunsets with him and my dog, my little 5-acre slice of heaven. So I made some profound changes in my life to get there. And I'm glad I did. Now I'm ready for the next challenge. I'm ready for the next wave of the pandemic. I'm ready to reinvent myself again if I have to. And I'm an entrepreneur, and so I know I'm probably going to have to in my business. So I'm doing some other things in my life. I'm doing more real estate teaching. By the way, if y'all need an instructor, hire me. Pretty good. I've got a pretty good menu of classes. Hit me up online and I'll be happy to send it to you. It's pretty good. And I travel. I'll come teach where you are. I'm happy to do it. I'm going to continue to reinvent myself though, because I'm going to focus on me. And you know what? It's okay to do that. One thing a pandemic does teach you is you better circle the wagons and protect yourself first. Remember, like we talked about way, way, way back when, might have been in episode 2 or 3, when you're on a flight and things are going bad and that captain needs to drop those oxygen masks. What do they tell you? Now, for those of you who haven't flown in a while, what they tell you is put your mask on first and then assist those around you. Y'all, we're going back to the same thing, but how many times do you need to hear it? I need to hear it a lot. Put your mask on first and then go help somebody else. Take care of your house. If y'all need a new bathroom or a new stove or you want a better patio, go make it happen. Go buy the shit you need to get done to make it happen. And if you need to do some of it with your own two hands, you can. You can do anything you put your mind to. Hell, go look at a YouTube video and you can damn near figure out a way to do just about anything. But if it's been calling you to do it now. Do it now. And time to think about you next. Look at those inner walls. What are there? Are you reacting or are you ready? We do not necessarily have the same luxury of time that maybe we thought we did. If one thing some of these current events teaches you is that life is precious and you've got one, you better not waste it, y'all. You really better not waste it. I have learned a lot of lessons. I have come a long way, and God knows I have a long way to go. But here's what I know. I've talked about perseverance. I've talked about your crooked arrow. I've talked about feeling essential and not feeling essential. I have talked about addiction and depression and feeling like you don't measure up enough and feeling like you've got insurmountable goals. And when you realize that a door is slowly closing in front of you, how fast are you willing to run down a different hallway? Look at your hallways right now, y'all. They're out there. And in fact, I think there's more opportunities presenting itself today than maybe there was last year. So if you did a vision board last year, like my little bonus video talked about, look at it again. A lot of that stuff is still relevant because that was in your core. That was in your soul before a pandemic hit. Are you going to let a pandemic take you off your arrow? Are you going to let a little thing like a virus mess up your focus? Champions don't. I want you to be safe. I want you to be safe as you define being safe. I want you to take care of each other, and I want you first and foremost to take care of yourself. Y'all know you're no good until you put your mask on first and then go help somebody else. It is time to focus on the walls. Which ones? Y'all get that physical space right. I cannot emphasize to you enough the comfort and peace you get from a space that fuels you. I don't care what that space looks like, but whatever it is, do it. Put yourself in a good space. Chances are you're going to have to be there for an extended period of time, periodically as we move forward. The government, the authorities, they're going to send you back to that space. Please make that space what you want it to be. And once you're there, the last space to work on is yourself. Think about it. You have limitless opportunities right now. I know for those people that have limited income and maybe income that is very limited, i.e. maybe it stopped, you have an opportunity to reinvent yourself. If you've ever seen a reboot button staring you in the face, y'all, it's staring you in the face right now. Hit the button. Hit a reset button if you need it. Y'all, I appreciate your time. I appreciate y'all listening to this podcast. We're getting close to halfway. I'm in this project for a full year. I'm going to keep coming to you with a strong, positive message based on my observations, my story. I'm looking forward to interacting with more of you. I've had a chance to interact with some of you so far. It has been amazing. It is fueling me. I really, really want to continue that dialogue. Y'all, if you are in a leadership position in the real estate world right now, please, please take this opportunity to talk about mental health services and healthcare in our industry. Y'all, we have an opportunity now to rewrite these next 100 years of Texas Realtors. My Realtor Association here in Texas is celebrating its 100th year of organization, and I think that is just badass. We have a chance to craft the next 100 years. And I think one thing we really need to focus on is mental health support, positive reinforcements, resources when you need it, and services that are there that are of quality. So let's do that moving forward. If you have a similar calling, I want you to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hit me up, email me, call me, find me somehow. I will help get this message of mental health assistance going. So y'all, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thanks for your commitment to trying to focus on that windshield and not that rear view mirror. We don't all have the luxury of time, but what we do have, we can make really, really, really awesome. You know, have a great day. Stay well, protect others, love one another, respect authority, do your part, and man, have fun. Enjoy the ride. Y'all take care, and I'll talk to you soon.